Dear colleagues, welcome to today's practice session. This evening, we'll have a session about people born from anonymous donations. And I'm one of those people because I was also born from an anonymous donation. My mother underwent an in vitro fertilization treatment in order to have me. My biological father is an anonymous sperm donor. I could explain all the process my mother had to go through in order to have me, but I don't want to make you miserable with tons of medical terminology. In today's session, we will speak from a perspective which is usually forgotten. Our perspective, the perspective of the people that are born from these donations. What are our feelings? Are we missing something? We will cover all these questions. In my case, I must say that I didn't know that my father was an anonymous sperm donor until I was 14. As you can imagine, I didn't expect it. I knew about assisted reproduction techniques, but I would have never, ever imagined that I owned them my existence. As in Spain, donations are anonymous. I accepted that I would never know anything about my father, and I learned to live with this reality. My reality only caused me anxiety when I went to the doctor. Very often, doctors ask if there is any family history of certain diseases. Since my father is an anonymous sperm donor, my answer to those questions was always the same one. I don't know. How could I know? In March 2023, I watched a documentary about people born from anonymous donations that completely changed my perspective. Watching that documentary was like opening Pandora's box. For the first time in my life, I saw other people who were born from anonymous gamete donations and who expressed their anxiety, their concerns, and their demands. That documentary was a game changer for me as to my opinion about assisted reproduction clinics. Some days later, I contacted one of the people that took part in the documentary. One of the main problems that we, people born from anonymous gamete donations in Spain, experience is anonymity. Donations are completely anonymous. We can be provided with some non-identifying data, but we can't receive any information about the medical record of our biological parent. In other words, we know absolutely nothing about half of our genetic heritage. Anonymity also gives more freedom to clinics to act unethically. For instance, the law stipulates that no more than 6 people can be born from one donor. The problem is that there are many fertility clinics and that same person can donate in more than one clinic. It is quite likely that you are thinking that there must be some sort of register that controls the number of times a person donates and the number of babies born from the donations of one person. In Spain, that register is very recent. It was created 2 or 3 years ago. That means that for many years, there are people that have been able to donate sperm or eggs in more than one clinic. Therefore, it is very likely that the law hasn't been respected. In Europe and in the United States, there is more than one case of huge groups of siblings. I'm speaking about groups of 50 or 90 siblings in Europe or 900 siblings in the United States, all born from the donations of the same person. This is a potential risk to public health. To wrap up, I must say that sometimes there are things that might seem impossible, but then they happen. And that's what happened to me. The clinic where my mother underwent her treatment provided me with my donor's non identifying data. In my case, I was extremely lucky because the person working in the lab was very kind and provided me with the data without any problem. And with that information, I understood many things about myself. Thanks to the data provided by the clinic, I know that my donor was a British citizen, age 25, and who was working as a language teacher in Barcelona. My enthusiasm for languages and my bad relationship with the son in Barcelona made so much sense. And then there's something the fertility clinics in the 90s never thought about. They never thought that one day we would have DNA tests available to the general public. I hesitated for many months. I was not sure about giving all my genetic data away to a private company. In the end, my curiosity won, and I had the test done. With the DNA test results, I was able to contact one of my father's cousins. Now, my anonymous donor is not that anonymous anymore. I know his name, and guess what? I have been able to confirm that there is no family history of cancer or diabetes, which is extremely reassuring. Thank you for your attention.